I actually wrote things down as I was watching the show so I could remember, but
Perfect.
so
I didn't. So I'll do this. Oh wow.
yeah, I know I got quite a few things.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our spoiler review of Cobra Kai season 4. About a year ago, Josh and I talked about season 3. It was the first time we collabed when it comes to videos.
Sorry,
So here we are. Just checking that it's
I
working.
was making sure.
Alex is already here. Cobra Kai. Yeah, I have the shirt on. I just changed last minute.
I didn't
Um,
even notice that.
yeah, yeah, I've had this for like, I think ever since I started watching the show in like 2020, like the summer of 2020, before
Mhm.
season 3. And we're talking about season 4, fully in spoilers. So if you've not seen it, don't watch this because you will have major spoilers. Obviously,
Yeah.
Josh's stuff is linked down below, or at least it should be.
Yes,
um,
someone who definitely posts very regularly. No, been a different kind of couple of months, but yeah, you can go and check out what videos that I still have up.
exactly. And he says Josh is back to his Rambo roots, I see.
Hmm.
There we are. Jason is here. Everybody, Alex, happy Sunday. What time is it for you again? It's
It's
quite
20
late.
past 9 p.m.
Okay,
in the UK.
it's 4:21 for me, so PM obviously. But yeah, let's talk first. Did you like the season? Is it like what's your overall kind of quick thoughts before we really dive into it?
So I think this is probably my least favorite out of the four, but that's not to say that it was that bad. I mean, there's still a lot of things I really like. I think it just has the most that I dislike out of all of them, but it's still an entertaining show. Like I binged it all in one day. It's still bingeable, definitely. But just a few problems here or there, and it's like it's leaving me with a bit of excitement, but also a bit of wariness. Like I tweeted saying, "Oh, they know how to keep you wanting," and I'm just here to flex this, but the Cobra Kai official account did like my tweet. But
That
no,
happened to me last year. Yeah.
yeah. Um they know how to keep you wanting, but also there's a bit of apprehension, should I say, when it comes to season 5. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me at this point, I've loved all it so far, like at least the other seasons. Like I get it's not the best show ever. It is one of those shows that completely relies on nostalgia, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that like at all because the original Karate Kid is one of my favorite films of all time. So I don't mind that at all. For me, that's just like whatever. And I've seen the other two back years ago. I've seen them a few times in the remake and stuff. But for me, I will say I liked the season overall. I know I haven't like posted an official review. I binged it all last night because this is the only day Josh and I could do it. So
Yeah.
I binged it all very late. Got 2.5 hours of sleep for an 8.5 hour shift at work. But oh well. Um, oh well.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
YouTube grind.
for the grind. Yeah, I liked it. There were some like glaring problems, though I will say, but like I would recommend this season if you watch the other ones. If you have watched the other ones, you will like if you've liked the other ones, then you'll enjoy this one. And maybe this is just something I noticed now, but there were some problems that could have been like in the other seasons that I didn't notice before. But we'll get into that in a bit. But you would say like you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I still like it, I think.
Yeah, same. I would probably agree it's my least favorite season, not because there's like any like moments that I think are terrible. I would say I don't think there's anything terrible here. There's just a lot of
No.
like, oh my God. We'll just kind of get into this, but my biggest problem is how fucking repetitive this show is because we just talked about this before, and my dad walked in right as I was saying this, but um, what drives me crazy, there's one thing about this show that drives me crazy is that it's basically like we're going in this big circle. It's Daniel and John, they see each other, they hate each other, they team up, and then they get mad at each other, they break up, and then they team up, and they get mad at each other, and then they team up. Like it just goes, and in this season, it happens so many times. And for me, like I really like these two characters. I've always really liked them, especially in the show. They've been really good. But this season, I was honestly like, this has nothing to do with the actors. This is totally the writing. The performance is really great. There's some specific moments a little bit, but I was just like, can you guys just decide what's going on? And I'm gonna go
Exactly.
on a little rant here because I felt like there were times in this season where they didn't know where it was going, especially to do with Anthony LaRusso and this new kid. Because What are you gonna say actually before I
Well,
start going?
the first thing I wrote down and that I noticed about this whole show is like, did they change the actor for his son? Because
I know.
before he was just this like little annoying kid that was like he was there, cool, but then he's like, I mean, like his voice has dropped. He's grown a bit taller. They even have, I think this is like a bit of a meta joke, but Johnny Lawrence goes, "Hang on, are
Yep.
you the kid?" Because like I
Yeah.
think that's what
Because growth
everyone's
spurt.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I didn't even recognize him.
yeah,
Realized
and I had
that
to
he
look it up,
was.
and it's
I
the
didn't
same
realize that
actor.
he was the. It is. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that he was like the brother from before.
yeah.
I was like, who is this new kid? Because one of my friends had watched it on the 31st because I forgot it dropped on the 31st. I thought it dropped on the 1st, so that's why I
Oh,
watched
that
it
last year.
yesterday.
Was it
Yeah, just like last year. So, yeah, wait.
last,
Yeah, no,
last
it
year
is
now?
last year. It is
No,
last year.
I was because I watched it on the 31st, and I was like, oh, it's earlier than last year. No, this year, but now it's last year. It's confusing.
Almost 365 days, yeah.
Yeah,
But my problem with that is that the idea of it seems so cool, and I liked the starting of them seeing like, the defensive people start like, Anthony Lewis would be bully. Wow, somebody was very strong about this. Cobra Kai
yeah,
Stranger Things fan talk reaction hated the season. But my problem is that within the first few bit when they were bullying him, they tried to make it seem like he was feeling bad, and then he wasn't at all, and then he was, and then again with the repetition, they would like zoom in on him, and he'd be like, and then there'd be other times where he's just full on into it. So
yeah. I get what you mean. Like they're setting him up as if he's not actually a bad guy. It's just his friends are influencing him. But then he fully just goes for it,
yeah,
and then he tries to apologize later. But the other guy, I actually liked the character of Kenny,
me
who was
too.
the
I
one
did.
getting bullied. And I thought it was smart how, because at first I thought he's got to be someone or related to someone that we know. And then it took me a second, like when he was in the prison, to realize that's the guy from season 3. Because I haven't rewatched the other seasons, which
Yeah,
I
me
probably should have
either.
done
I haven't
in
either.
preparation. But that's the guy who Robbie was in prison or juvie with. And I thought that's kind of smart. And
Yeah, when
I
it
like Kenny.
happened, I was like, "Oh shit, that's awesome!" Because
Yeah.
I like instantly just like bam. I was like, I was wondering, I was like, who is this new kid? But yeah, I like him too. I would say okay, here's one thing. This is stupid, and I'll totally admit this is just with me. I have always really liked Robbie. I like the actor and everything, but in this season, I could not help but picture him on the He's All That cover. That's all I saw him the entire time, and I felt so bad because I was he is so good in the show, but I didn't watch the movie. Just the poster just stuck
Yeah,
into
I
my
know what you mean.
mind. But
I
one of
because I liked Robbie not so much in season 3. Well, he was a bit like just
on
playing
and
the victim
off.
all the time.
Yeah,
But I overall like him, and I liked his relationship with Kenny in this season especially.
me
But
too.
I haven't seen He's All That. I've only seen people like post clips of
Yeah,
it in
same.
TikTok, in like fake acting, real acting, whatever. But I think there's like some sort of house party scene where they're at a swimming pool in the film, and then in Cobra Kai there is a house party after prom, and he's like there in the suit with the swimming pool, and I just straight thought to that clip that I'd seen of He's All That. So it's funny that you mentioned that. But I haven't seen
Yeah,
the film. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not putting myself through that.
Yeah, me neither. I kind of just want to watch because it'd be hilarious. But like every time, because a lot of the time the shots would start with him going. So I always just like picture him from like the clips I've seen from that.
Yeah,
But he's good in the show, and that final scene with him and his dad is really good. Like when he
yeah,
like admits to it, like that was amazing. And that's kind of how I feel about the whole season is that it started off really interesting, and I like the idea of taking Terry Silver. And he's, Alex agrees that he's menacing. I would
yeah.
say he's very menacing. At first, I was like, what the hell are they doing with him? But I like the idea of having him seem totally different, and then
And then
Kreese
he
is able to
switches back.
change him.
Yeah,
But and the whole ending is really good. But it's the build up that I was like, I just want to see the tournament. Like I've been waiting for it since last season. I've been waiting almost 365 days for this. So it's one of those things where like it's solid and the finale comes in, and since it ends so well, at least for me, it makes me like it even more. But oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna add. Like what was your favorite moment of the whole show?
oh god, season.
There's a lot, but
Well, one thing I wrote down, this is my favorite, but it was just a funny joke, and it seemed kind of like ad lib because they were transitioning between scenes. Anyway, they're in the Miyagi-Do, and then Daniel's like, well, as long as they're under my roof, they're my students too. And Johnny goes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, what roof? We're outside.
Yeah, it's
I know it's not
quietly
that
in the
funny, but
back. Yeah.
to be honest, I laughed way more than I should
Oh,
have.
we got unpopular opinion
Favorite
here.
season of the show? Okay.
If it'll go up on the screen, apparently not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But there we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
one thing I meant. I can't remember who it is, but someone flicks a coin, and I thought Hawkeye straight away. I can't remember who it
Yeah,
was.
I
But
think
someone.
I think it's Sam because she flicks a bottle cap and then
Oh yeah, that's it.
Daniel catches it right away. I'm interested to know, what did you think of Sam in this season? Because I feel like people have different thoughts.
I liked that they're doing more with her. Like season 3, she has a bit of PTSD from the fight, and this time she's like learning to go a bit against her dad and sort of embrace Johnny's method, which then allows Daniel to embrace Johnny's method, which I thought was a good way of doing it. The actress or actor who plays Mary Mouser, I think her name is.
Yeah.
She's good, but there are just moments where like I feel like maybe she repeats the kind of same mannerisms or same things, and sometimes her performance is just I don't know, slightly weird to me. But
I feel like that's
it's
kind of almost all of the actors.
to be fair, yeah, they are.
Like no, like I get that. I really like her in like as an actress in the show. I will say at times, again, with her character, it's not her, it's the character that seem repetitive where it's like, I want to go against him. No, I don't. I want to go against him. No, I don't. Or it's
Mm,
like go back and forth. But I really like as much as I said before, like as much as I love the two like adults, like the Johnny and
Johnny, yeah,
Daniel. In this season, I didn't like them as much just because of the writing of the characters. The kids are what really like the kids, teenagers, whatever. They're what really hooked me. They like there's just something about them that really kind of like I felt attached to in a way,
mm,
even more so than the other seasons. I like the way that she was going against her dad because I feel like she finally has, and the way that relates to Miguel, I thought was really good. I also really liked him in this season. He kind of they stepped him back a little bit, but
yeah.
he's still pretty great, and I know there's a few people on here just jumping in quickly, so I know this is a spoiler talk, but I won't say this fully. I like his decision in the tournament. It worked for me a lot. His
Sorry,
decision,
Miguel.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
his decision to,
right, yeah.
yeah.
I was
But
trying.
we're talking spoilers from now on, though.
Okay. One thing, because we talking about like how Sam goes against her dad, but also there's a bit where like he's telling off what's the son's name? I don't even.
Anthony,
Anthony. I said. Well, his friends call him Lepusso, which I cringed every time they said that.
so fucking bad. That was like the worst line of the entire season.
I know, and he keeps saying it, and then Kenny says it as well. So never mind.
I was like, you're
Um,
ruining the intensity of the scene, Kenny.
what was I gonna say? He kind of has this moment where I feel like they're kind of poking fun at how absurd the show is, where he's like, everything's about karate to you, and it's like it puts into perspective that yeah, these people are kind of unhealthily obsessed with learning
Yeah.
karate. Like they treat the dojo like a church or something,
Yeah.
and it was, and it's kind of funny how he's like, just because I'm the son of the All Valley champion doesn't mean my life should be about karate. And I thought it was just good that they addressed the fact that why should he feel like his dad has to teach him karate? And it
Yeah.
was a small moment, but I appreciated it.
I appreciated how this season was more self-aware because it goes for it, and it's like so intense at times. Like I forget what the line is. There's one line with Johnny though where it, like zooms on his face. He's like, "Let's do this," and like that's happened throughout the entire show. And that's like the one thing where I'm like, if I didn't love the other ones, this would be a little weird.
Right.
And again, it's just the dialogue. Like that's the thing is that all the actors are good. I just sometimes the dialogue can be a little weird. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. What did you just say? Sorry.
I talked about Anthony and how they were being. Well, we talking about how they're being self-aware.
Oh yeah. So that's one thing that I said to my one friend who had watched the show a day before. I said I like how they're addressing the fact that all these adults who are like in their 50s or like 70s or whatever are getting put in life or death situations over like I get they say karate's like a way of life and everything, but like over something that happened in the 80s,
Yeah.
and they're bringing back everyone beating the shit out of some people like Stingray.
Yeah.
Like I've always liked him, so when they brought him back, I was like,
I,
that's funny.
it's nice. Yeah.
It's
Um.
nice.
So one thing. Two things. But Terry Silver. The only thing, like, I liked at the beginning how he was kind of tame, living this rich guy lifestyle, doing whatever.
Mhm.
Only thing is, the whole point of the marketing for season 4 was the return of Terry Silver. So it's like we know he's gonna get back. We see a
Yeah.
clip of him tying the ponytail and everything. So it's like waiting for that to happen, inevitable. But he becomes a really good and scary villain. The only thing
Yes.
is, I feel like each season is now just introduce a new big bad and try and redeem the old big bad. So it's like Kreese now. I think they're gonna make us want to side with him because
Yeah.
he's starting to realize that Terry's actually a bad influence, like bribing the karate
Ref.
tournament
The
people.
ref. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like I feel like we're just gonna have a new villain who's way more bad than the other one, and then it redeems the previous one. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna go. But also, the teenagers, like the main kids in this, they're getting old. Not old, but older to the
When
point where I think that's why they bring in Anthony and Kenny because they're
yeah
introducing a younger new lineup so that this show can go on for as long as they want. Which,
is unfortunate.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the one thing when Peyton List, who plays Tori in this,
yeah,
said, "I'm gonna be 18 next year." I'm like, you look like you're in your 20s, okay? Like it's not like to the level of Grease or something,
mm,
but like, it
exactly.
is
Because
noticeable.
it's like I watch Spider-Man Homecoming and I guess Far From Home. They're supposed to be my age right now.
I know when Tom Holland in Homecoming says he's what 16, I'm
16
like,
is like,
bro, no,
you're
you're
not
not.
16.
Like, yeah,
Which is funny.
and because we've seen them kind of age with the years, it's kind of like the kids in It when in It Chapter 2 they tried to like de-age them.
But
Have you seen the first one?
I haven't seen either, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
on the watch list. I know you don't love horror, but still.
Well,
Um,
I'm getting more into horror, actually. I think the other day my friends and I were gonna watch, but they only had It 2, not It 1, so it was a whole thing.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, but like I would say the kids were my favorite thing character-wise about the season just because I didn't love all the choices with the adults. With Amanda though, that was
There's the mum, is it?
the mom,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's her name. I was very back and forth on her. I will totally admit, like there were times when I gotta plug my phone in. I just realized. There were times when I was like, okay, I really like what you're doing, but then it just felt like an invasion of privacy with Tori. Like the whole thing of Tori is like you're not supposed to like her, so
Mm.
whatever. And because when I see Peyton List, I think her name was Emma and Jesse, like the Disney Channel show,
Yeah,
and
and
I always will see her
I
as
think
that.
of she's Holly in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like the original films.
Yes, in
That's
like
what I
what
think
Dog
of.
Days, I think. Or is it in
Yeah,
the
I think
mall?
the
Yeah.
second two she's in.
Yeah, actually
That's what
that's
I think
true
of.
as well. So I always see her as that. So I'm like, this is that's also
I
why I
can't
see that
dislike
she's
you.
older.
Yeah. With the mum, like she at first I was like, right, they have to give her something to do, so I guess she's gonna go and defend her daughter. But then she just becomes this kind of sympathetic
Pushy. Yeah.
person for Tori, who's like, she's trying to help her out and everything. It's like, eh. I liked her before because she was a sort of voice of reason. I felt like she was on the audience's
She was
mouth,
the
not
audience character.
yeah,
Yeah.
like she's trying to bring down Daniel and say like, yes, I appreciate what you want to do, but you're teaching kids how to almost kill each other, so calm it down a bit.
Yeah.
And now she's like kind of fully in on everything. So
Yeah. And like her whole point was like in the last bit when she was talking to her, she's like Tori, she's like, I'm gonna go out there and cheer for my daughter. I just want you to like end this whole rivalry. I was like, that's good. But, like, you pushed her so much, like, that's why I said, like, she was getting pushy with her, and again, I feel like my biggest issue with this season is the character writing. It's
yeah,
just very inconsistent, and it felt like they didn't really know what they wanted to do. It felt like they just wanted to make more seasons, which is fine. I know there's, like, 5 and 6 confirmed, but please stop
yeah,
at 6. As much as I really like the show, and I've loved the other seasons, and I still like this one, everything that's good comes to an end. If they keep
exactly.
milking this like this, then I'm worried because again, like this, as I said before, the season started with here's the bet, whatever we need to take down Cobra Kai. This season literally ends with Daniel going, we need to take down Cobra Kai. And I was like,
Exactly.
we just spent like 400 minutes trying to do this, or like we spent like 5 hours of the show trying to do it. We've spent 4 seasons of the show trying to do it, but something always gets in the way, and it just again feels a little repetitive.
Or
I
they should
am
just like, if they wanted, they could have just had Cobra Kai win the tournament, but have all the characters learn something and come to peace with the fact that Cobra Kai did win, but they won spiritually or whatever, something
yeah,
else like that.
I hope
Yeah.
that they find out that Terry like cheated and stuff.
Yeah, well, because I think Tori knows.
Tori
It's
knows.
gonna be like, does she keep it in, or she's gonna confront Terry? Terry's gonna threaten her.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
Let's make our predictions.
yeah,
Why not?
exactly. That's what I think is gonna happen. I mean, Daniel's teaming up with, I have no idea what his name is, but the guy who tried to kill him in Karate
Yeah.
Kid 2.
Hank.
Yeah. Um, which I think I guess that's kind of cool, but
It's cool, but again, nostalgia. If you don't like the movies, you won't like it.
Exactly.
And since the sequels aren't as good,
It's
it's a cool idea.
it's kind of like a shock that the show works, because a really good original film in the 80s, two decent sequels, one rubbish sequel, then a remake later on that I don't mind but didn't receive that
It's
much praise.
it's
It's
yeah.
it's passable.
It's just
And then
there.
like many years later, you revive the show on YouTube with like the two actors who kind of haven't done much in the past few years, and it's such a success, like a big
Yeah.
success that Netflix buys it. And now it's like, don't maybe like know where to stop
Calm
and then
down. Yeah.
have it be remembered as a good thing and not
Yeah.
something that was ruined.
I feel
But
like it's kind of one of those things. It's like know your limits. Like
exactly.
everybody's been liking the show so far, and I know a lot of people have liked this season, which is good because I have too. But I also everybody I've talked to has the same opinions as us. They say that the ending, I don't know what you think of the ending. We'll talk about that in a bit. The ending is good. The rest of the season is good, but there are like character issues and it's very repetitive and sometimes just like, oh, can we do something? But I want to talk about the finale because that's one thing for me that the show was solid, but there's something about the finale of I guess all the Karate Kid movies and especially Cobra Kai. Maybe it's because I was raised way too much on sports, but I get so into this. When I was watching it last night, very late, I was like, come on, Sam, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I don't know what it was. And like, I don't even like, I played sports all my life. I don't play them anymore, but like, there's just something about this show that as you know, fine, good, fine, good as the rest of the show can be. Anytime we get to the finale, I get so into it. I don't know if you
I
feel
get
the
what you
same
mean, because
way.
it's like it's the rush of sports, but it's cinematic as well.
Yeah, with
And like,
Carrie Underwood as well.
yeah, that was like, okay.
I was like,
And
sure.
you can also kind of see it going either way, or any of three ways, with the show. So it's like it's not obvious. There's still a bit of stakes there, because you're like, well, they could win, they could win, they could win. And I liked some of the new characters. Like I think, I can't remember her name, but the debate team girl who joins Eagle Fang.
She was okay.
She was good.
One of my favorite scenes is this little quick thing. I want to talk about this. It has to do with Johnny, and something that I love they've done the whole show is him like not understanding modern stuff at
I was
all.
going to mention this, yeah.
So she walks into the dojo and she goes, "Wow, fuck, what's her name? Like, it's like not Rachel. It's something. Maybe it is. It's
Maybe it is,
something."
yeah.
So, "Hi, my name is Bud. My pronouns are she/her." And then Johnny turns and goes, "The only pronouns we use here are sensei and sir." And she goes, "Those are nouns." And he goes, "Oh." That was like I laughed so hard
I
at
know.
that. And then when Johnny quote unquote what he says learns feminism and like we need a strong queen like you on our team, like stuff like that, that was hilarious. But she
Yeah.
was so funny. Or when she started talking about like I think Bloodsport or like one of the
Yeah, they made that like
yeah.
because they go and watch it in the drive-in as
Yep.
well. It's like,
I still need to see that. I
so
don't know
do
how
I.
I haven't how I haven't seen
There are
that.
some other great Johnny jokes. Like he walks up, he's like, "Girls, are you interested in the best experience of your life? Must be under 18."
Under 18. And they run away. They're like,
And then
"Oh, we got to practice inside. Some guys creeping on the team."
because he's like, "We shape the future kings and queens. We're very inclusive. What about non-binary and gender fluid people? Yes,
Fluids are
gender
good.
fluid."
That was yes.
It's just great.
Those were really good. Like that's something that I've loved the whole show. They've done it ever since season 1, where they have him
Yeah.
not understand anything, or like his little like Twitter rant. That wasn't like to the funny level as the other one, but that was good. It started off like,
You know what?
"Hello, anyone hear me?"
That reminds me of, because like in the office, Jim sets up a blog for Creed, what he thinks is a blog, but it's just a Word document that he keeps typing to. It kind of reminds me of that when Miguel's like, "Here's a private Twitter account. I'm your only
Yeah.
follower. Go crazy."
Yeah, and he's like, "Who does he think he's tweeting to? You're the only follower." So, yeah. What's the Creed one? It's like creedbatten.org / there's like some whole name,
Yeah.
and it's a real website too. But
right.
yeah, that I Johnny was good when they weren't trying. Same with Daniel. They were good when they weren't trying to make the two characters clash.
Because it's just
And
like, they're fine. They have to work together. They're getting along because they have these similarities. But then, oh no, it's going to be the rematch again. Finally, we're going to get to see them fight again. But then they don't really fight because this one they do like an actual proper 3-point fight and they knock each other out on the last one. It's like,
yeah,
but I like whenever they reference the crane kick in any of the seasons because it's always like a funny thing.
it's
Like because
always
Johnny does it.
hilarious.
Miguel, I believe, uses it to beat Robbie or something, or he uses it
He
in the
uses
very
it
first season. In the
sometime in
very
one of the
first
early
one,
ones.
and like they go on about how it's an illegal move, and I think this is more funny to me, and I'm gonna bring this in again, but because of How I Met Your Mother, so like one character, because like both Ralph Macchio and William Zabka appear in
Yep.
that show, and Barney's like, he says he thinks Johnny Lawrence is the real Karate Kid because the crane kick was an illegal move, and he goes on about it, and so I think anytime they reference that, I think about the show, my favorite show, obviously, so it's like, it's more funny.
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen a bunch of episodes. I haven't fully seen the show. I need to
Yeah,
watch it, but I do know about that. I think because you posted it, I've just seen it
yeah.
in general. I know I've seen that William Zabka was on the show, and it's just the fact that this show exists is really cool. I have to say that. I like as much as I talked about the negatives for 26 minutes and 18 seconds, there are a ton of positives here because I've enjoyed myself. I don't think there are episodes that's like, "Oh my god, this is awful." Like there's no time where I was like, "I cannot sit through this. Like I have to stop it." Again, I binged it all in one sitting. Not only because I had to, but it,
Yeah.
it was it was enjoyable. Um and I think that it's so cool that they're bringing back some of the same actors who are, no offense, really old
Yeah.
now from the 80s. And when he was like tying his hair back in a ponytail and stuff, I was like, I remember back when I was way younger, like in grade 5 or 6 or whatever. I remember watching like the third one and seeing Terry Silver and being like, this guy's so cool. And like he's so bad, but he's so cool. And that's kind of the thing. I liked him in this season quite a bit. He's definitely menacing, and what you kind of said with trying to make Kreese seem good. I hope they don't go down that path, but they might. I will say I am a little bit worried for 5 and 6. I just don't know
I didn't even
what
know they
they're gonna
had
do.
6 confirmed.
I
But I
know
knew
that
about 5, but I didn't know
yeah,
about
I know
6.
they have 5 and 6 confirmed.
Wow.
I hope that's it. I like 5 in reality, this one could have been the end, but if they go for 5, it's like whatever, as long as it's good. 6, then I'm worried about because I don't know what else they're gonna do.
And I think it's gonna get to the thing where they're gonna start maybe losing some of their major cast because like, I can't pronounce his name, but whoever plays Miguel,
Yeah.
he's now Blue Beetle
Yep.
in DC. So he's gonna be moving on to like I think yeah, it's a great casting choice,
It's
bigger and
so
better
good.
things. And when you start to remove main cast members, it might change the dynamic of the show completely to where it's not the viewers just don't like it anymore.
The
Then it's
Office
like,
one.
yeah, exactly. But then you don't want to continue the show with the same characters doing the same thing. Do you watch Sex Education?
I have not, but I've heard it's
Okay.
good.
It's really good, and like the third season came out in September last year, and it was still enjoyable. But there's like, I won't say too much about it, but there's like a relationship dynamic between the main two characters, and it's a bit like with Johnny and Daniel, how they're kind of repeating the same thing to where I'm getting a bit skeptical of what they'll do in the next season. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will say this, and it makes sense of like just enjoy what you have now. And that's fair. I have my problems, but I feel like let's talk about some of the good things because
yeah,
this season, as much as there were some again glaring problems, there were a lot of very enjoyable things. One thing I love about the show is how they choreograph the fighting. The fighting here is amazing. I assume that all the actors do their own stuff, or at least
they
like the
do.
main stuff. That's what I thought because you always see their faces. The way it's shot is amazing, especially in this season. There were a lot. I don't know why my hair is sticking out here. There were a lot of like instant replay shots, like it like like,
Oh
and then
yeah,
cut to an angle, and I like that. It worked for me because that's what it's like when you watch like TSN or Sports Center, like something on TV.
which is funny because when Johnny and Daniel do their rematch, one guy's filming it and they're trying to see who knocked who out first, and Johnny goes, "Well, switch to the other angle." It's like,
There is only
oh,
one
right.
angle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was like I again, and the last 2 episodes were great. They
Mm.
always find a way, despite me being skeptical about the other seasons, they always find a way to make me love the tournament or some big fight. Like in in the other, there was a house fight, there was a school fight.
Mm.
The tournament here was amazing.
That's
And
I
I
think just on that, nothing can beat the school fight for me though. I don't think. Like I was anxiety throughout the whole
oh
thing.
my god, when they flash back to the school fight, I was like, I forgot how good that was. Like
Yeah,
that was amazing. And like I do like how they still reference it with like Tori and like Sam, how like
yeah, and
Sam
there's like
still has like the
security people
scars.
at the school.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Oh, Hawk and Dimitri, I think his name is,
Dimitri, yep.
in the final fight. Like I'm just talking about it like it's a Marvel film final fight. They do like a little Star Wars reference when he's hyping them up to go on. He's
Yes.
like, "Well,
Yes.
Obi-Wan had the high ground, right? So get the high ground." And like,
Yeah. One thing, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this. One thing that I really appreciate about this season is Hawk, because
mm,
Hawk is someone I've always been skeptical upon. Maybe it's also because the actor was in Kirby Buckets.
I don't know
Some
what that is. Is that
exactly
okay?
some Disney Channel show from like 2016 that nobody watched.
Right.
That's
Okay.
his name's like Jacob, or it starts with a B, but like that's how I knew him. And I didn't always love his writing, and like some of the stuff I was like, this is so over the top. But what I liked about this season, not only is that he wears a David Bowie hat in one scene, um, but he really felt like humane, and I felt like I connected to his character more than anybody else, because once they I was like, what the hell are they gonna do in this tattoo shop? Like, are they gonna tattoo it away? And like he gets the razor. I was like,
I was so scared. I was like, "They cut him up. What's
I thought
happening?"
this was gonna turn into like fucking Sweeney Todd or something.
Yeah.
But no, and then like it totally makes sense. Like they cut off that, and like he loses confidence and everything, and then he finally gains it back. And I love that. I love how finally like he like quote unquote discovered who he was or whatever.
Mm.
But the way it
It's
was
like
handled with, I loved it.
because I keep forgetting he actually starts out as the sort of shy, bullied nerd at
Yep.
the beginning of the show. Just because he can't, because it's like it's crazy. Like a guy with a Mohican that big, and it's color
Wait,
that changes the color.
what do you call it?
Well, Mohawk, it's short for Mohican, isn't it? I'm pretty
It
sure.
is? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I was like, is
Yeah.
there some like British word?
No, maybe it is, but no, I'm pretty sure
That makes
Mohawk.
sense.
I think so. Yeah. I never actually called it Mohican. I don't know why I said it this way. Mohawk. And it's kind of crazy, but then he has it, yeah, stripped away, and he has to learn. And I'm glad that, because in the last season he goes really bad, like he breaks Dimitri's or fractures or whatever to his arm,
Yeah.
but he doesn't get let off easy. Like the people in Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang aren't willing to accept him straight away. Well, Dimitri is, which is weird, but they're childhood friends, so never mind.
Yeah. They're the what do they call it? Fucking something bros. What is it? Binary bros or whatever?
Binary, yeah.
That
I
was
remember
funny. That
when you
was
saw the
funny.
old YouTube videos and stuff. That was funny. But it's kind of like a bit of a Spider-Man Homecoming moment where Peter has the suit taken away from him. He has his hawk taken away from him. He has to relearn who he is and everything, and then he comes back.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
fun.
like that. I think that it really worked. One I will say one thing that I do not understand. Why the fuck did he take his shirt off or this thing?
I literally wrote this down.
Like
I
why? What purpose did that serve besides the fact that Addison Rae can watch it and go, I was in a movie with him? Like
literally, I wrote down all you had to do was retie the thing
I
around your
know,
gi,
it was
because
like
you can see the strap or whatever. It's still there. He literally just had to retie it, and then it's
and it
like
and it
topless
was
fight.
like
Cool.
and it was like loose for like half the fight. I don't know how the ref didn't go like I get he was paid off, but I don't know how he just didn't go, hey, tie that up. It's like if in hockey, if your neck guard falls off, you have to put it on or
Yeah,
something
surely it's
like
a rule. You have to, like. I was so pissed because it's
it's
so cringy, the fact that they had a topless
yeah,
fight.
he there's like boom and like all the sound effects and then like when I mean Hawk, but now I can call him Eli again. Like
Yeah,
when he does it, I'm like, okay, at least he's doing it too. But even like the little look he gives the ref, like he's like, I don't know, because it's just weird. I was like, why? Like,
yeah,
why did they do that? I don't know, but I like that fight a lot. I thought that fight really worked.
yeah.
I mean, I liked all the fights. I think it was pretty cool. And the whole changing the valley thing, I also enjoyed that. I thought it
Mm,
was a cool kind of way to not only add to just like it's not just here's all these fights. It's like now they have to train for more than just this, and that's one of the good story things is that then it opened up great jokes, but also new
Yeah.
characters to come in, which is smart. I like that a lot, and I again those last two episodes really kind of saved the show to make me like really enjoy this. Again, I liked it, but it really like was not hooking me like the other ones. As much as I liked Terry Silver and I liked a lot of the moments, there were just so many things where I was like, dude, like why? Like, why?
I liked the Hawk. I think he won the male section,
Yeah,
male champion. That was cool because it's like it finally gives him a bit of redemption.
yeah,
But also, what I thought was going to happen is because they introduced this whole idea about different segments of the fight and they're each weighted differently points wise.
yeah.
I thought Sam or Robbie were going to win the male or female set. No, not Sam. Sorry.
Tori.
Either Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang would win one of the like last two sections, but because of all the other sections, Cobra Kai would end up winning overall. I thought it was going to happen like that, where it was like false hope. They didn't do that, but they
Yeah,
made a big point about how the different sections, which I think was just so that they could definitely make sure Sam fought
Tori.
Tori and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think is it
It was
sorry, Kyler is the guy from Cobra Kai. I think his name's Kyler.
like the asshole one, like the douche
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. Who like he bullies
Bro, I hate him. Like, I get that's the whole point. The actor is so good. I hate him so much. Every time he talks, I'm like, shut up. Shut
exactly.
up. He's so good at being such a dick. And
Yeah.
like I don't know what it is, but there's just like he always finds a way to do it. I like the progression of Kenny through the thing. Like when we're talking about Cobra Kai, also, one thing I like as cool as the new like gear and all that looked, it looked awesome. Like if they could
Yeah.
actually sell that, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna practice karate and then go to tournament and wear like what the fuck are they called? Whatever, like
Geese.
yeah, and
Ge-
wear those when you haven't practiced at all in those with
Yeah.
like sleeves and stuff. I mean maybe because they can take their shirts off now, but still, like that was the one thing where I was like, it looks so cool and all that, but little things.
Yeah. With Kenny, I liked the inclusion of his character and how he's using karate to stand up to like the bullies and Robbie's teaching him. I did not like how he became a very experienced fighter and
Yeah,
actually fought in the tournament like well. I thought like if he
yeah,
was someone on the side learning the Cobra Kai methods and he would like start fighting in tournaments later, but you could see the rage of Cobra Kai coming into him. That's great. But the fact that him and even Rachel or whatever her name is, as great as a character she is, the
yeah,
fact that they're that good at karate straight away. Maybe it's easy to learn. I don't know. I've never tried learning any martial arts, but it doesn't seem like you could pick it up that easy and fight
yeah.
well in a tournament that
Like
quickly.
the Rachel. We need to find a real
We need to
name.
find a name.
I really hope that's her name because if not, I just feel bad now.
Yeah.
Like she was I that one I kind of understand. The Kenny one I don't so much. Like the fact that he was even able to land a hit on Robbie.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was like, if Robbie was like like defending himself and like whatever, like not really going for it, then that makes sense. But like he was trying,
Yeah.
so that
There's
was
no way you
weird.
could have done that.
I have to. What is her name?
I don't even know
Da, 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 da. I don't even know. It won't even tell me. Oh, one thing that's hilarious, like you know the girl in school they all like. It just showed me her name is Leah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So at work today, I saw a customer that looked exactly like her, but 20 years older,
Oh
and
right.
I was like, is this like her mom? It's like it like totally just because I just watched it, it like I had to do a double take because I was like, what the hell? And you know, when they set up that thing in episode 2, I liked how like I didn't like it, but like, you know, the bullies when they were kind of like messing with him through the game. I don't really get how they got his username, but like
Yeah.
still, and is it stupid that he met in a park? Yeah, but like I like the idea of that. I thought that was cool and like they kind of kept going back and forth on the does she like him? Does she not?
Yeah.
Again, just like the rest of the season, but
And
still.
because Anthony actually like you find out he's a bit of a nerd for the game as well or something.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
what I
another
bet it just
sign. another sign that he was gonna become friends with Kenny instead.
Yeah, and then Kenny's like, "Hat, nope." Beats him up. Beats him up. What else do you have written down though for your
Yeah, I'm
positives?
gonna go back to the
I'm
notes.
I'm interested to know like what stuck out to you.
I wrote Miyagi Fang laughing emoji.
That was like I did. I was just like just for today. I'm like, don't please don't, because like every time they say Eagle Fang, I'm like, okay, like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. What did I? Oh yeah, I said the show really likes to hurt Miguel, as in put him through physical pain.
Yeah. Oh
Because
my
he twists
god.
his ankle or something.
Or like his back, or like I think he like
Well, he breaks his
twisted.
back in
He breaks
the
his
school
back.
fight. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
okay.
like in the tournament though.
Does he?
I think so.
Or
I
is
think
it
it looked like his.
probably okay? Because I think he does a spin and he lands on his foot, which must twist. And
Yeah.
then he hurts his
I
back.
don't know. Like I thought it was his foot, but then like they showed like his back looked like
Probably.
like it looked like there was like a mark on it, but
They
maybe
couldn't do the
yeah. Or like I did like in like the season 1 or 2 where he's like medic.
Let's get an ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bit. I'm not going to know exactly what it sounds like, but the music in the final fight, there was one thing that sounded kind of similar to the Rocky theme, which I think is funny because the director of the original Rocky film directed the Karate Kid.
Yep.
And like there's a lot of similarities between them. It's like,
and they reference Rocky 3, which I thought
that
was cool.
And they do a training montage where like
yes, on the
Johnny's
beach,
running on the beach. Yeah.
And because like for those who don't know, I'm a massive fan of Rocky. I always kind of have been. When I was in like I don't know, like years and years ago, I was like obsessed with them. Like kind of when I first started this channel. So whenever they mention Rocky or something, that series, everyone except the 5th one holds a very special place in my heart. I love them all. Like I love the first one. And like there's ones I like more than the other ones, like Creed and Rocky 4. And like but I like them all except 5. So when they reference that and you see the direct things to it, I was like, that that was pretty cool. And one thing that I'm pretty sure it was season 3 they explored it more, but like the war flashbacks, we don't see as many of them here, but I really like the way they're handled. For me, it works for some reason. I don't know what is, maybe because same friends with favorite movie and I love war movies, but like the way it's shown in flashbacks works a lot. And the whole Johnny kind of dad child, that scene got me. That scene was sad.
That's good. Yeah. I do. Yeah, I like what we said about the Vietnam flashbacks because it feels a bit like a different show at times, but not like it clashes too hard. It's a nice change of pace and tone. And I liked how Terry, like, you think he's just aliens from Toy Story. You saved our lives. We are eternally grateful. But it gets to a point where he's like, how many times are you gonna play the Vietnam card? And he's like, no, finally. He frames him. I can't remember. Oh no, he frames him for beating up Stingray. That's it.
Yeah, like
I know, it's so funny when like, the FBI go to the hospital and like, who did this to you? We must know. The man who did this to me. His name is Sensei.
Sensei. I was like, bro, come on. Like that was weird though. Like I don't know. There was something about that.
The fact that he like was willing to get beaten up, lie to the police just so he could join Cobra Kai. When like the version of Cobra Kai you like is Johnny Lawrence, just go and find Eagle Fang, mate.
Yeah, or like framing. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're exposing a lot more problems than necessary. But
right, let me see if I wrote anything positive. Wait, what the hell does this mean? Oh, okay. There's a funny moment where sorry, Johnny searches on the internet. How do I tell my student I'm banging his
mom? Oh my god!
And then the results.
They've like the fact that this show is TV-14. They get away with a lot.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, they always have, but like they can say like fucking stuff in some of the episodes. Like I remember,
I think Kenny even says, "Oh no," or Anthony, one of the young kids.
Yeah, and I remember in the last season, I think it was It was sometime. It's one of the younger ones. It's the kid named Nate that they use him as measurements.
Okay.
Where I think it's Dimitri. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're like this many
Oh,
Nates high, or this
Nate's
is
house.
across."
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't use me as as a measurement or whatever." He walks into like I think the LaRussos in the last season. Go, they beat the fucking shit out of me
Yeah.
because I got the flashback on my Snapchat from
Okay.
that. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember." And Johnny says it once, I think. I like their use of Motley Crue when they were playing Girls, Girls, Girls at the whole recruit scene. Like their use of like the 80s rock and stuff works well with Johnny and how he was wearing like a Van Halen shirt at times. Like, you know, when he says like, "Oh, there's a few things I know, like girls, 80s rock and stuff," and that they really play into that, and I
Yeah.
like that. And I really like the connection between Miguel and like LaRusso, whichever LaRusso you want to talk about, but like
Yeah.
with Daniel, I thought it worked, and it makes sense how that's, you know, like that's the reason why Johnny got so mad, but like at the
It's
same
kind of the
time,
same thing though, because he had that with Robbie, where Johnny's mad that his son or surrogate son equivalent is being trained by LaRusso, and it's like doing that with Miguel is repeating is very
mhm,
repetitive.
yeah, like it's good, but when that was the reason that they got on mad, I was like, please think of something else. Again, like I feel like all of our problems kind of just go back to that. Is that
Yeah,
it's
repetitive.
just repetitive, and I don't know if it's just because it came out so soon after the other ones that they just went, I got all these ideas, I'm gonna write them down as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know the writers. I know some of the writers, some of the same like directors, so they do a good job for the most part. Again, with the action scenes are really good. One thing I noticed with the camera work, though, cinematography in like the first episode, every single shot. Let's say this is just the closest thing to me. Let's say this is like the focus of the scene. Like they'll be eating dinner, or it'll start on Johnny. It starts a close up, and then it will back out. Every single scene, like the first, I think, episode for sure, release
I think I know what you
episode
mean.
two,
Yeah.
they would start close up on something like a drink, and they'd be like, and then it would zoom out to show the rest. Every single one.
All right.
And
Maybe
I
it's as
was
if
like,
like they were doing ADR, so they just start on something random, recorded audio over the top, and then film.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't, I don't know. I don't like. Again, I mean, we've been going for 47 minutes. I feel like we kind of just keep making the same points, but
Yeah.
hey,
Right.
that's
Let
what
me
they
try
did.
and.
That's what they did in the shows. No, let's see. So let's make some predictions for season
Okay.
5 and 6. So what do you think's gonna happen in the next season?
In the next season, they're definitely gonna take down Terry. That he's gonna team up with the guy from Karate Kid 2.
Mhm.
For like the first two episodes, it's gonna be going well. Then they're gonna break up just like Johnny and Daniel did, and then they're gonna get back together. Him and I don't know his name, but Karate
I don't
Kid
know.
guy. They're gonna come together.
Right
Potentially, they're gonna
now.
go to prison, or Tori is gonna. I think Tori is gonna talk to Kreese. She's gonna confer with him something. She's gonna go to prison and talk to him. Did you know he bribed the guy? What's going on?
Yeah,
Because
that's
Tori's gonna
definitely
have
gonna
a
happen.
she has a dilemma about what to do, and it's maybe gonna end with I don't even know how season 5 is
I
gonna
don't
end.
know how it's gonna end at all.
Either way, I know season 6 is gonna be setting up or fully just having a new generation of Karate Kids.
Karate Kids.
With Kenny and Anthony is like the main two, like the sort of Miguel and Robbie. Oh, Miguel, his dad. Um,
Oh yeah, shit.
yeah.
That's a little worrying.
Because
The
the mom
fact that he
mentioned
doesn't
that
know that he
yeah, he
existed.
doesn't know he exists. So I'm kind of picturing some sort of dangerous drug lord or something. Maybe that's a bit of unconscious racism right there. But
You said it, not me.
um, but he's I think he's a dangerous guy. Um, and it's gonna be funny to see what happens. Or I don't know. But I think Johnny and Miguel are gonna be in like where is it Mexico he's
It's
from? Or
Mexico City. That's what.
okay.
So that's why when you say it, it's
Yeah, yeah.
cartels in Mexico, people. That's all we're saying.
um I think Johnny and Miguel are gonna be there for maybe like at least half of season 5.
Yeah, I bet episode 4 or 5 they're
And
gonna
I
come
think
back.
that's a way for them to not have to have Daniel and Johnny interact because they know if they did, they do the exact same
They
thing
do the
over and over.
same.
But
Yeah.
so if they separate them, put them in different countries, it makes it easier.
Yeah, and apparently, like my one friend that had watched show said that they already filmed all of season 5, and
Oh, right, okay.
he's like, oh, it's probably coming out in the summer. I was like, I doubt it. I bet it will come out around New Year's again. I feel like they'll just keep
I
doing
think it
that, which
will. I
is
think
good.
that's their spot now.
Yeah, I
Sort of
think
like,
it's a good spot because it's like during the holidays, you have something to do. I like it more when they release it on the first because then not only can I remember to watch it, but it's the 31st, and it's New Year's Eve. Everybody has stuff to do if they can. So
exactly. I didn't think I'd be able to finish it. I was going to finish it in one day because it was like New Year's Eve and everything was like, oh, that's the end. Okay, that's it.
yeah.
Because I remember, I think, and this may have been COVID as well, but after season 3, people were saying season 4 would come out the summer of 2021,
Mhm.
and that didn't happen. So it's like, no, I think New Year's around that time is their new sweet spot.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot. I think it's kind of like because all the Christmas stuff is out of the way. Boom, you have a new show, and we also have Book of Boba Fett, which I still have not
Oh
watched.
yeah, that's true.
Still not watched the first episode of, and that'll be episode 2 in like 2 days. So I should probably get on that before that gets spoiled for me.
I'm not well. I'm not going to spoil it, but the Twitter account for Boba Fett was like, oh, everyone go and watch the new episode, but no spoilers. And people kept retweeting it saying, what is there to spoil? And it's kind of funny because when you watch it, you'll see there really isn't much to spoil about the first episode. But
Yeah, I heard that it just like nothing happens and that it's mid, but
it's good setup. I'll say that.
okay, that's good. Yeah, but basically, I think this is probably a good time to wrap up the
Yeah.
stream because we've
Mhm.
said everything we need to say. This season was solid. We
It was
both
good. It
liked
was still
it.
enjoyable. Like
It
the
was
show
good.
isn't bad yet.
No,
Sorry.
yeah. Oh God, yeah. I hope it's still kind of. I hope the next season is better. For me, I would agree. It took me a bit to kind of decide this is my least favorite season. I've seen all the seasons once, but this one I'd say is my least favorite because it had the most apparent issues. But I don't think by any means that it's bad. I liked some of the setup, and the finale was amazing as always. Like they always, for some reason, find a great way to end off the show.
They do.
So I really liked it. If I were to give it a rating, I mean, you don't have to give it a rating. When I think about it, I'd probably give it probably a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's where I'd stick.
I think I go the same thing.
Yeah, like
Um,
I couldn't remember exactly the other seasons. You probably go back to my review, at least of season 3, the video one before our live one. I think I gave that one a grade. I think it was a lot higher though, because I do remember the last season was better than this. But good ideas. A little worried for the other 2, but we'll be back when those come out to talk about it live.
Yeah.
I hope that for the 2 people who are watching that you enjoyed this. I hope that you've
Different.
seen the show and didn't get it spoiled for you. Again, go subscribe to Josh.
I think
One of
one of the guys in the chat is my friend who hasn't seen half the things that I make him watch reviews for, but he just comes and watches it anyway. So
hey, that's great. I mean, I have some people that do that. They're like, yeah, I got bored. I watched your video. I was like, cool. Okay.
yeah.
Sure. I mean, that's good. And everybody, you better go subscribe to Josh. He's one of the best people on here. Quality content. Maybe not every day, but quality.
No, not anymore. I have next Friday or this Friday. I have another video coming out. So
Superhero was
bit of a return. Yeah.
That thumbnail is so good. I don't know what it is, but it's so cool. But again, thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching on the replay and you somehow made it 53 minutes in, let us know what you thought of the show down below. And we'll see you guys next time. Over and out.